Kevin Durant left yesterday's game against the Heat with a thigh contusion in the first quarter, but it was an appearance on a podcast over the weekend that generated even more buzz, where KD named his top 5 teammates and, all the teammates he's ever played with. So here's the list. Kyrie, Harden, Steph, and Klay were quick to be named. Then Durant went with Serge Ibaka to round out that list. The host pointed out that Russell Westbrook was left off, at which point KD immediately said that, of course, Russ is on it and that he was, quote, tripping. Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard is joining us now. Chris, how significant was it that he initially forgot Russ here?
Well, Jen, this is baffling.
That's the word you chose, Chris. Baffling.
I don't know what in the world was going through Kevin Durant's head. He said he forgot. Is that possible? I guess, sure. But if you watch the video of the podcast and don't just read the quote, KD took 14 seconds before he named the 5th teammate. Like, he was thinking hard.
Yes.
And it's hard for me to think KD is that absent-minded. I think KD is very smart. So it looked like he was really thinking, do I really want to say this? Do I really want to leave Russ off? It's hard to believe he forgot about him when he took that long to name the 5th guy. And then, on top of that, his 5th guy was Serge Ibaka initially. Serge played with him and Russ. If he had said Draymond Green, it would have been a little easier. It still wouldn't have made sense, but it would have been a little easier to be like, okay, he forgot the OKC guys. But you named somebody that was on the floor with you and Russ. So look, the only other explanation is that maybe he thought it was the 5 best teammates, like guys he enjoyed playing with, and then, so Serge was there. And then when they kind of challenged him on it, maybe he thought, oh, this is about to go viral. I'm about to start a firestorm with Russ. Let me just get rid of this now, clean it up, and say Russ. Let me even put him ahead of Klay.
Like he did him a favor. He did him a favor, put him in front of Klay.
Right. It just seemed like a slight. I mean, that's all there is to it. I know they've kind of made up, and, Russ was going at him with the cupcake stuff for a while. But it just seemed like, I just don't know how in the world you forgot Russell Westbrook.
He didn't.
I'm sorry.
He didn't forget. Like you said, he paused. He thought about it. He was thinking, scouring his mind like, okay, I got Kyrie, James, Steph, Klay, Serge Ibaka. Hold on. But, we don't want to call this to attention, but what about Russ? Oh, yeah, man, I'm tripping. Ow! Russ and Serge were drafted the same year. Serge spent the first year in Spain playing. Then he came. Forget it. Even if you wanted to say, you know what, I'm gonna name my five top teammates. No particular order, but here they are: Kyrie, Steph, James Harden. But how you forget Russ? And Chris, I don't know if you noticed this, but did you know KD played with 3 MVPs in their prime? Can you name another MVP? Can you name another player that's played alongside 3 other MVPs in their prime? Not LeBron playing inside Shaq in year 19. I'm talking about in his prime. He got 3 of them on his resume. But you don't forget this. I'm sorry, look, I got no problem with his list. That is his list. But to say it was a slip, you just forgot that you played alongside Russ, a guy that you went to an NBA Finals with, a guy that you had a team down 3-1. You had a 73-9 team down 3-1. And when reporters ask you about Klay, about Steph Curry guarding Russ, you put your hand in front and say, I got this, bro. I got this. Big brother gonna take care of you on this one. You forget a guy that won an MVP, that got about to average a triple-double again, and you forget that you played alongside him and he's one of your best teammates. Nah, that was no accident. I don't care what anybody says. I got no problem with his list, but he omitted Russ on purpose.
I agree. He knew exactly what he was doing because, as I've told you, Shannon, and you, Chris, I have been trying to psychoanalyze Kevin Durant for, 15 years on television. And the harder I look at him, the more I realize that he's not happy unless he's unhappy. He needs to be, he needs conflict and controversy to be his rocket fuel, because the worse it seems to get around Kevin, the greater he plays. He rose above incredible pressure in those two finals when the world was waiting for, the NBA world was waiting for Kevin to fall on his face after he left Russell Westbrook and joined forces with a 73-9 team. And what did he do? He played his greatest basketball ever. He won back-to-back MVPs. He needs that to fuel himself.
Right.
I'm now to the point where I think Kevin and Kyrie, being quote-unquote partners in crime, they love to, and they both have extremely high IQs, they love to sit back on a weekly basis and start little media fires with things they say or do that just burn the internet down for about 24 hours, and he just struck again. He knew exactly what he was doing, because the ultimate shot at Russell Westbrook is Serge Ibaka. You picked Serge Ibaka over Russ. It's so bad it's funny. You know, it's laughably bad. But he did it because he knew it was a great shot at Russ. I don't know if they made up or not. I just think the blood went so bad that he'll never quite overcome it. And Chris, I've told this story before, but this all started for me back in 2012 when I'm still Kevin's biggest fan. He's still the best player on the planet. I thought it back in 2012. And yet I kept watching night after night that little Russell, the point guard, was taking more shots than Kevin. In the 2012 season, Russell averaged 18.7 shots a game to Kevin's 17.7. I didn't yet know that Kevin would turn into the most efficient scorer in the history of this league. But still, that just seemed out of bounds to me, so I would defend Kevin on ESPN. And one night, Kevin called over the reporter for the Oklahoman and said, "Hey, I want you to print this. Skip Bayless doesn't know you-know-what about basketball." And when I heard the comment, read the comment, I was dumbfounded, because I'm like, Kevin, I'm your biggest fan. You're biting the hand that feeds you. No, he wanted to show Russ some support. And he also just wanted to start a fire because he loves to beef with anybody.
Yeah, he supported him so much he forgot that he was one of his top teammates that he played with. So even if he accidentally forgot him, it just goes to show you he still doesn't view Russ in the category as a Kyrie, James Harden, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Really? See, I'm not saying Russ is Magic Johnson, but come on now, KD. Man, I don't get it.
He took 30. He took about 40 seconds for the whole list. Most NBA people could have named that list in 10 seconds.
Yes.
You know, Steph, Klay, Harden, Kyrie, Russ. It was simple. Now, he was trying to put it in order, I guess. Okay, it takes a little longer. But, Skip, here's what I say to you, your explanation, though. If he was indeed trying to start a firestorm, which he still has, why backtrack? Why say, "Oh, I'm tripping"? Yeah, Russ, definitely Russ. Like, I don't know if he realized. I don't know why he would have backtracked. Because I definitely think, like you guys, he knew what he was doing when he said Surge. But I don't know if he lost heart when those dudes challenged him or what.
Yeah, that's what, because he knew it. He knew how it was going to come across. Because Russ is just not Russ is not a scrub. Russ is an MVP. Russ got three triple-double seasons on his resume, about to have a fourth. And you mean to tell me he's not one of the top 5 teammates that you played with and you played 8 years with, went to an NBA Finals, and had the 73-9 Warriors down 3-1 with this guy riding shotgun? Ask LeBron. If you ask LeBron, who are your top 5 teammates? He probably will say D-Wade, Kyrie, Bosh, AD. Boom. He ain't gonna he gonna say AD, Kyrie, Bosh, Kevin Love, and
Mario Chalmers.
Rondo. You know, Bron, we hate to bring to your attention, but D-Wade. Oh, yeah, my bad. I'm tripping, dog. D-Wade. Really? I mean, come on now.
So, Chris,